NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race officially concluded from Kansas Speedway, and we see some chaotic racing, some fantastic racing, and we see a very fantastic and great finish with Carson Hocevar picking up his first truck win of 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race from Kansas Speedway. We had quite a bit to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about it. So, before the green flag drop in tonight's race, William Byron and Nathan Bird would have to go to the rear of the field. So at the start of the race, he had Jake Garcia lead the field from the inside with Corey Heim on the outside, and we saw a lot of chaos happening as they entered turn number 1. Jake Garcia did not get the best push from Ty Majeski right behind him. Jake got really loose. Then going in turn number 1, a lot of contact would happen. There was contact between Carson Hocevar and Ty Majeski going into turn number 1. Tyler Ankrum also hit the outside wall really hard, and also there were other drivers like Dawson Sun who got collected in that incident as well. Just drivers trying to be a little aggressive at the start of these races. Also, Carson made a big move later in the event as well, but tough break for Majeski, who had a flat tire. The first caution race would come out lap number 4 for Dawson Sun, who spun coming into pit road as he had a flat tire. Dawson Sun would get a 2-lap penalty because NASCAR felt like he intentionally brought out the caution. I'm not entirely sure if he intentionally brought the caution out, to be honest. I think that's a little bit of a questionable call in all honesty. I'll probably talk about that later this week. I feel like the penalty might have been a little bit unnecessary. I don't personally think it was intentional. So during the yellow, Carson Hocevar, Tyler Ankrum, Matt Mills, and Frankie Muniz would all come down pit road. And then on the restart, you had Corey Heim lead the field from the inside with Raj Kroof on the outside, and Corey Heim got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Meanwhile, Luke Baldwin would get into the outside wall and come down pit road and had a flat tire and would go multiple laps down, as Corey Heim started pulling away from Chandler Smith by about 1.3 seconds. The second caution race come out lap number 23 when Luke Baldwin would have another flat right front tire and would hit the outside wall really hard, unfortunately ending his night and bringing out the caution. Tough for Luke, who's trying to get experience, but just a tough break all around, who was looking for a really strong run tonight. So then, all lead lap cars would come down pit road except Tyler Ankrum, Nathan Bird, Coney Dennison, and Spencer Boyd, with Corey Heim winning the race off pit road, followed by Raj Kroof and Caden Honeycutt. William Byron, who was basically moving his way through the field, he had a terrible pit stop and basically stalled on pit road coming off. I think he had something shut off on the car, I'm pretty sure, but he would lose a ton of ground. Once all those cars that stayed out came down pit road on the restart with 2 to go in the stage, you had Corey Heim lead the field from the inside, Raj Kroof on the outside, and Corey Heim got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. He pulled out to about a 2 or 3/10 of a second lead, and coming out the final corner, Corey Heim holds off a hard-charging Raj Kroof and Grant Enfinger to win stage number 1. And then we see some guys come down pit road: Ben Rhodes, Morgan Baird, Ty Majeski, Matt Mills, Stuart Freeze, and Cody Dennison, while everyone else will stay out. And then on the restart, they had Corey Heim lead the field from the inside with Raj Kroof on the outside, and Corey Heim got a really strong restart and was able to clear for the lead. Meanwhile, Carson Hocevar would go 3 wide to the outside trying to get by Roger Kroof, and Roger dropped all the way back from second, all the way back to about 10th or 11th, and Carson also lost a ton of ground. A little bit over-aggressive in my mind to go up to that outside and try to make the move, but it is what it is. Meanwhile, Carson Hocevar, though, was really coming. He was really one of the fastest trucks in the track and was catching Corey Heim early in this event. And he got a really great run to the inside of Corey Heim on lap number 43 and was able to get side by side for a little bit, but eventually Carson lost a little bit of ground and he started fading back. And then the next caution race come out lap number 51 when Cody Dennison had a flat left rear tire and would spin into the inside grass, bringing out the caution with a ton of damage on the truck. This would end his night. Tough break for Cody Dennison. And then we saw all the lap cars come down pit road with Corey Heim having a terrible pit stop, and basically because the tire came off the jack, he would drop all the way back from first, all the way back to 16th. Carson Hocevar would win the race off of pit road, and Chandler Swift got a penalty for equipment interference. And then on the restart, you had Carson Hocevar lead the field from the inside with Grant Enfinger on the outside, and Grant Enfinger got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. But then a couple laps later, Carson Hocevar got a great run on Grant Enfinger, and he was able to take the race lead with Lane Riggs moving up to second. It looked like that maybe Lane or Grant were going to have a chance and an opportunity to get there, but they would run out of time, and coming out the final corner, Carson Hocevar wins stage number 2, followed by Lane Riggs, Grant Enfinger, William Byron, and Daniel Hemrick. And then during the caution, Tanner Gray, Connor Mosack, Matt Crafton, Matt Mills, Tony Breidinger, Ty Majeski, Gio Ruggiero would all come down pit road while everyone else would stay out. And then on the restart, Carson Hocevar lead the field from the inside with Lane Riggs on the outside. And Carson Hocevar got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Meanwhile, Corey Heim, who dominated the early portion of the race, was charging his way up front. And we saw some really good racing throughout the field. Meanwhile, we saw Carson Hocevar also starting to pull away. But then eventually, we started seeing Carson Hocevar's truck on the long run really starting to fade back. And Grant Enfinger, with around 45 laps to go in the race as the run went on, he would catch Carson Hocevar trying to get by, but could not get the race lead. They battled side by side for the next couple laps. They put on a really good show. And eventually, Lane Riggs got a great run on Grant Enfinger a few laps later after Grant lost ground on Carson, and he would move up to second position. And then we started seeing green flag pit stops. Chandler Smith and Jack Wood would come down pit road first. Then the next lap, Lane Riggs, Grant Enfinger, Corey Heim, Caden Honeycutt, Dale Hamrick, Brandon Jones, and Jake Garcia all came down. And then the next lap, Carson Hocevar, Tyler Ankrum will come down pit road. But all of a sudden, on lap number 97, everything would change. During the green flag pit stops, as Connor Mosack was coming down pit road, Frankie Muniz was already a lap or two down at this point, would spin out trying to avoid a Connor Mosack who was coming down pit road, and would spin into the grass, bringing out the caution. This would change everything because it would trap guys that lap down, like Lane Riggs, like Grant Enfinger, like Carson Hocevar. All the guys have been major factors for the win. They'd be trapped a lap down except Grant, but Lane Riggs got the free pass. Tough break for Frankie, who struggled all night long, and the second time that Frankie Muniz has caused chaos because he made a mistake. And then during the caution, William Byron, Stuart Friesen, Tanner Gray, Gio Ruggiero, Ty Majeski, Ben Rose, all the guys on the lead lap came down pit road, with Carson Hocevar staying out and being the race leader. And all the guys that got trapped a lap down, Grant Enfinger, Corey Heim, Caden Honeycutt, Connor Mosack, they would all basically come down, basically take the wave around. And then on the restart, Carson Hocevar lead the field from the inside, William Byron on the outside, and Carson Hocevar got a really great push from Stuart Friesen and was able to take the race lead. Meanwhile, Tony Breidinger and Corey Heim would both get penalties on the restart for restart violations. Tony Breidinger and, of course, Corey Heim would change lanes on the restart. That would basically force him to come down pit road. Corey Heim was not happy on the radio for that. He definitely felt like that it wasn't fully justified, but he definitely changed lanes. So tough break for Corey. Not entirely all his fault in my opinion, but just a tough break there. So at this point, the biggest competitor at the time to Carson Hocevar would basically be out of contention at that point. Until he wasn't out of contention, because with 25 laps to go, the final caution race came out for Bailey Curry, who spun off of turn number 2. He got loose coming off of turn number 2 and exit, and Connor Mosack got tapped by Chandler Smith, and they both would spin out to the infield, bringing out the caution. Tough break for two guys who are having pretty solid runs inside of the top 10. And then on the final restart, Carson Hocevar lead the field from the inside with William Byron on the inside, and Carson Hocevar got a fantastic restart and was able to clear for the lead. But Tanner Gray got a great push down the back straightaway, and he tried to make a move to the inside to get the lead, but got air blocked by Carson Hocevar and would start falling back. Meanwhile, Corey Heim was once again charging his way up to the front and would get up to 9th position, but then never really got the chance to get up there. In the final few laps of the race, the fastest truck on the track was Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs had been inside the top 5 all night. He was one of the drivers who had gotten affected by the caution coming out for the situation there. Eventually, with around 10 laps to go in the race, he got a great run on William Byron and was able to move up to second position. It looked like we're going to get an all-time finish, but then it also looked like we're going to get a caution because with 5 laps to go, Tanner Gray was sold from 4th position after losing power after a really good run, and we all thought that this is going to be the end of where the caution would come out. But luckily, Lee would get to pit road. And we saw a fantastic battle in the final 5 laps of the race. Lane Riggs was 2 or 3 tenths of a lap quicker. Because like earlier in the event, Carson's truck on the longer run was not as good as it was in the short run. And Lane was cutting down 2 to 3 tenths every single lap. With 2 laps to go, Lane Riggs was getting a fantastic run and cut the gap down to 6 tenths of a second. And coming to the white flag of the race, Lane Riggs was 4 tenths back of Carson Hocevar, and they battled for the race lead coming to turn number 1. Lane would make the dive to the inside, trying to get the race lead. He would go up the track. They would get sideways. There would be contact. They both would get into the outside wall, but they both were able to hold on and retain their positions. Lane would once again try everything he could to get there, but he would run out of time, and coming off the final corner, Carson Hocevar holds off a hard-charging Lane Riggs to pick up his first truck win of 2025. His first national touring win of the season, and his 5th career NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series win. What an incredible finish. I'll be honest, I thought Lane Riggs was going to get Carson Hocevar there because that truck on the long run especially was really, really good. But Carson did what he had to do, and he held off a hard-charging Lane Riggs. That finish is one of the best finishes we've probably seen at Kansas Speedway. That was just straight up a long run that kind of decided it. It was awesome. It was great. Just a great race overall. But let's talk about the guy who won the race. Carson Hocevar. Carson Hocevar, I expected to be a major factor. I don't think he overall had the fastest truck. I still think Corey Heim had the best truck in the field, but I think Carson definitely had a top 2 or top 3 truck tonight. Really strong run for Carson. We knew when he was going to get announced at the 7 truck, we knew he was going to be a factor. He really had, in my opinion, a really good truck. I think he might have led the most laps actually in this race, I'm pretty sure. So congratulations, Carson becomes the 3rd driver to win Spire Motorsports this year. Obviously, Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson also both won with Spire this year, so he joins the lead company there. Congrats to Carson on picking up the win. A well-deserved and well-earned victory for Carson Hocevar, who will look to win the NASCAR Cup Series race tomorrow afternoon. So now we're going ahead and take a look at the race results and I'll give my score and thoughts on today's race. So Carson Hocevar picks up the win. Lane Riggs finishes second. What a run for Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs, I thought, was going to get there. That caution for the green flag pit stop cost Lane, in my opinion. So I think if that caution doesn't come out, I think Lane honestly had the truck to go after Carson for the win. But still, fantastic run for Lane. That's his 3rd top 5 finish of the year. He's been close to winning races. He's had the pace and speed this year. Fantastic run for Lane. He finishes second. William Byron finished 3rd. Byron never had the pace to win. He had a top 5 truck at best, but it just seemed like that truck on the long run was not really good. He just didn't have the pace to be a major factor for the win. But still, good night for Byron. He'll use that experience for the Cup race tomorrow. Great night for Byron, though. He finishes 3rd. Corey Heim finishes 4th. Had more adversity than anybody else in the field. He had the bad pit stop. He had the penalty for changing lanes. He then, of course, had to come down pit road because of that. But he recovers and finishes in the top 5. I think he had the best truck in the field. There's no denying that. There's no question. It just felt like that he used the tires up, and that cost him a shot at the victory. But still, a fantastic night for Corey. I know he's going to be disappointed that he didn't get the win, but he continues his really strong runs this year. Great run for Corey. He finished 4th. Gio Ruggiero finished 5th. Shout out to Gio. He ran in the top 10 most of the night and gets home with a very solid top 5 finish. Gio's been having a quiet but solid rookie season, so good night for him. He finishes 5th. Stuart Friesen finished 6th. A big rebound weekend for the number 52 truck. He just has needed a good run because he's been very inconsistent, has had some bad luck. So good to see Stuart actually get a well-deserved top 10. Great run for Stuart Friesen. Brandon Jones finished 7th. He has not been that good in this truck this year, so good to see Brandon have a really good run. This truck ran top 10 most of the night and comes home to a really solid top 10 finish in 7th. Good night for Brandon Jones. Jake Garcia finished 8th. After his issues, he recovered and got himself a top 10. He was really running around 20th, but he recovered at the end. He got a really good finish. That 13 truck has been much better. Haley Deegan struggled in that truck than when she drove, and this year's been a much better year for the 13 team. So a solid top 10 run for Jake Garcia. Caden Honeycutt finished 9th. Caden had a really good truck early, but it seemed like they lost handling as the race progressed and went on, and that cost him a shot and opportunity at a great finish, but still a solid top 10 for Caden Honeycutt. And Brandon Finger finished 10th. He got trapped basically a lap down during the green flag pit stops. I think he had a truck capable of winning this race, but that caution really screwed him out of a shot at winning, but still a really solid night for Grant, but it's going to be disappointing considering the speed that he showed. Dale Hemrick finished 11th, never had the speed tonight. He probably had about a 10th place truck at best, just never was a major factor for the win. Didn't have a really good truck at all. He finished 11th. Ben Rose finished 12th, struggled early, but they made that truck better, got helped by the caution, comes home with a top 15. Matt Mills finishes 13th. Matt Crafton finishes 14th. 15th place finisher Ty Majeski gets a top 15, so hang the banner at this point. But the last few weeks for Ty have just been rough for him. He just needs a really good run. He just needs some good luck to go his way. We do go to North Wilkesboro. Maybe he'll have a good run there. He's going to be a favorite to win next week, but just disappointing end for someone who I think has been really good this year, just hasn't had the luck to show for. Dawson Sutton finished 16th. Tyler Ankrum finishes 17th. Not the best night for Ankrum. Chandler Smith finished 18th. He had that equipment interference penalty and also got trapped a lap down because of the green flag caution that came out. Tough break for Chandler, in my opinion. He's been really good this year. He finishes 18th. Connor Mosak finished 19th. Andres Perez finished 20th. Tony Breidinger finished 21st. Not the best night for her. She was all at the pace most of the night, but she does get a top 25. Raj Crew finished 22nd. He also got trapped a lap down during the green flag slots, but it seemed like he lost the handling as the race went on, because once he got put back in the middle of the field, he was really good when the sun was out, but once the nighttime came around, it seemed like they lost handling on that truck. It seemed like the same thing for the other Spire trucks most of the night, but I think he got handed the worst because of that caution. He finished 22nd. Cody Dennison finished 23rd. Spencer Boyd finished 24th. Jack Wood finished 25th. Morgan Bear finished 26th. Bailey Curry, who once again had a solid night going but nothing to show for it, he finished 27th. Tanner Gray, after his power issues, finished 28th. Frankie Muniz finished 29th. Nathan Burr finished 30th. Luke Baldwin finishes last in 31st. So now, let's talk about the overall race as a whole. I'll give my score and thoughts on today's race. I think we all know that Kansas Speedway is a fantastic racetrack. We know the next-gen car race is good here, but also Xfinity Series race as well. And tonight, once again, the Truck Series put on a really, really good show. You had some fantastic racing up front. You had really good battles. You had a lot of side-by-side racing. Sure, there were points in this race where everyone was kind of getting strung out a little bit, especially on the green flag runs. But then you had a fantastic finish, and it was a long green flag run that was really intriguing and exciting. I know that green flag pit stop got ruined, but I thought it was a really solid race overall and a fantastic finish to end. Before the great finish, I probably would have given this race probably about an 8 out of 10, but because of the really good finish, I'm giving tonight's race a 9 out of 10. It was a really, really entertaining race, a really fun event, and I thought it was one of the best truck races we have seen so far this year. Really fun and entertaining race at Kansas Speedway. So, that is going to be it for tonight's NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race review from Kansas Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's race. Your thoughts on today's race, let me know below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and congratulate Carson Hocevar on picking up the win. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have the starting lineup video for the Avanhell 400 at Kansas. We are also going to have the race review from Kansas as well. And we're also probably going to do an SVG video if he does well. We'll talk about Red Bull and that association as well. Then Monday, we're going to have an NASCAR news video discussing news over the course of the last couple of days. We'll be talking about people like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Cards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bumble Walsh, Junior Motorsports, Connor Zillich, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, you name it, all the good stuff. Cletus McFarlane, Eric Almirola, and other people in the industry we'll talk about in the coming days and weeks on the channel as we head to North Wilkesboro for the All-Star race week as well. Hopefully the race is good, but I'm not expecting the Cup race to be good next week. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content, other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.